Shalom, 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 shalom. First and foremost, giving infinite praises, glory, and honor unto Yahweh by Hashem, Yahushua by Hashem, Wachakwadash, giving double honors to our apostles and elders of great millstone. Shalom and salutation to all you sincere Akim across the four winds, pushing this truth with sincerity of heart. And I'm your fellow servant, Kasama God from the DC camp, coming at you through the spirit and power of Yahweh by Hashem, Yahushua by Hashem, Hakwadash, to feed the elect. This lesson right here, I want to get into social credit scores in the United States. Of course, dealing with prophecy, we have to understand that we inching closer and closer to the collapse of the United States economy, and not only the United States economy, because once the United States economy collapse, it's going to be a slip. It's going to trigger the collapse of other economies. All right, the world's economy. So basically what's happening is that you have the elites, the Rothschilds, the Rockefeller. There's certain groups and organizations that they have set up to basically take care of, what I'll just say the transfer from one way of how we do it, how we move economically to another. But the word is escaping me. But basically, a lot of things are getting ready to change economically, the currency, and the way things are going to be purchased. Your ability to purchase is going to be made a lot more difficult when you're dealing with social credit scores. All right, so that's what I want to get into, and we're gonna find out. We're gonna get into, of course, these corporations out here, these businesses. Being used and making these moves that are being made, to further push social engineering, knowing that they're going to take an L in their own businesses because it's a greater scheme, it's a greater plan that's going on. All right. So now let's deal with understanding what an ESG score is, a social credit score, ESG score. It says ESG score is a way to assign a quantitative metric such as a numerical score or letter rating to the environmental, social, and governance ESG efforts undertaken by a specific organization. All right. It says ESG efforts have become increasingly important in recent years as awareness around the topic has grown. All right. So a lot of people talking about it. Of course, I've been doing a lot of research on it as well. Just in preparation, because you have a lot of corporations that are making a lot of funny business out there, man. One of them is Target. As you know, Target got basically caught out there, man, putting a lot of posters of LBGTQ merch. As a matter of fact, and this it was a major backlash, which it was kind of expected because that was kind of the plan. And Target, took they took a major L doing that. They took a major L doing that. And then you got Walmart, who's kind of like on the brink, but Walmart is going to end up doing the same thing. All right. So it says Walmart, this is NBC News. It said Walmart hasn't made changes to LGBT themed merchandise in wake of Target backlash. All right, so they haven't made changes. Why is it that Walmart, is putting a lot of flyers or posters? Because remember, what month we in? We in the month of June. So this is the month where you have the group of people that live the alternative lifestyle. Basically they're being recognized and being and proud, right? That's why they call it Pride Month. They showing pride in living abominable lifestyle. So they got their whole month to do that, and they have a lot of influence in society. And then of course that this is all set up by the Rothschilds, Rockefeller, WEF, World Economic Forum, Klaus Schwab, George Soros. So the same actors are behind all of this. This is social engineering. Now, of course, these are organizations and businesses. Really, these businesses knew that it was going to be a backlash. They knew they was going to take an L financially. Because you look at, I think I have it. somewhere, because you look. I think that I believe that Target lost like 12 bill, man. Like Target, man. But like, I just gotta read. Let me read a couple, just these two paragraphs. It says Walmart on Wednesday said it has not made any changes to its LGBTQ related merchandise tied to Pride Month or to security measures in place at its stores. A week after rival Target pulled some LGBTQ themed products following customer backlash. Quote, "We haven't changed anything in our assortment," Latrice Watkins, Walmart's chief merchandising officer, said. Last week, Target pulled some Pride-related merchandise, including items by Transformers designer Eric Carnell, saying the products led to volatile circumstances, such as confrontations between customers and Target employees, and customers throwing Pride merch on the floor. Walmart also offers LGBTQ themed merchandise tied to Pride Month, which is celebrated in June, including rainbow adorned flags, clothing, and accessories. Its Pride and Joy collection includes a $7.98 set of enamel pins with messages such as "Be you, be proud, and you are enough." All right, so it's a whole marketing, which it's about going after the minds of the young, the youth, basically, social engineering for the youth. So now the question is, now you have these businesses taking major L's financially. I think Target lost $12 billion so far for pushing that. What else? Bud Light lost billions for pushing the same message. Walmart is set to lose some money for pushing the same message. So you got to ask yourself, why is it that these corporations are doing this? Because corporations don't want to lose money, right? So why would they push an agenda that it's not beneficial for for their pockets? Well, the reason why is because these corporations understand who rules the day, and the people who rule the day are the elites, so-called Illuminati, right? But specifically the elites, the WEF, the Rothschilds and all that. So these are the people that set the agendas. Lucifer, basically, if you want to get into, the elite Edomites. And they understand that there's a price to pay to push an agenda. That's the first thing they understand. And they also understand ESG scores, social credit scores. All right. It's similar. The only difference is ESG is kind of like for corporations, and then for the individual is going to be called social credit score. But it's the same score. It's like this you are down with the program, aka the image, aka the system, and the agendas. Therefore, you get scores. And what happens is that it gives you, like it's stated, right? Like it's stated, let me see if I can read it again. Let me see, because I think it's right here. It says right under the highlighted part. It says there are numerous ESG benefits for businesses. You have to understand why these businesses are doing what they're doing, and they're willing to take an L financially to push these agendas. It says there are numerous ESG benefits for businesses that get it right, including providing competitive advantage. So you will have a competitive advantage in a market because you're dealing with Vanguard. These are the companies that basically, you could borrow money from these companies. You could have, it's kind of like having a black card with Vanguard. Because Vanguard, they're like, those are companies that run everything. That's how the Rothschilds are able to run the world through organizations, institutions such as Vanguard. Look it up. It says attracting investors. So you can have listen. You got Vanguard as your investor, man. What's the dude, the leader, the head of Vanguard, Larry Fink. So if you got a guy like that, man, you always gonna have money. You're gonna be attractive. Your business is gonna be attractive. So And those people, right, they work for the Rothschilds. So, and the Rothschilds and the Rockefeller and all the 13 families, they're trying to establish an agenda. And the agenda is a spiritual agenda. It's the image. It's the image of the beast. All right. It's establishing a way of life that's totally contradictory to the way of our power. The Heavenly Father Yahweh, the God of the Bible, and the lifestyle of the Hebrew Israelites. It's about establishing this new world order. All right. So you got to make a decision. Either you please the consumer who's overly reliant on you, either regardless, or you please the kings of the earth. Well, if you please the kings of the earth and the kings of the earth invest in your business, and you know that the commoner is overly relying on your business, the commoner might get pissed off, but eventually the commoner is going to crack, because the commoner is going to have to make a decision. Either he comes to you and your business, because one of the things about these corporations doing what they're doing, they're going to be able to monopolize the market. All right. So you either going to bow down to Vanguard of the Rothschilds, and be a part of the monopoly, or you're going to be put out there. You're going to be ostracized. They're going to run hit pieces on you, and your business and your organization is going to crash. All right. So they don't care about the consumers. They know the consumer eventually is going to put his moral disdain, right? The disdain that he has for the lifestyle of the LGBTQ. They know that you're going to be mad. They know that you're going to be bugging. But they know that at the end of the day, you need them more than they need you. All right. So they're going to make sure that they get their credit, their ESG scores, by pushing this agenda forward, even if they got to take a loss in their bottom line. Because a $12 billion loss is nothing compared to the money that they already have. And it's nothing compared to the credit score and the ESG scores that they have. So this is now you understand why these companies, you understand why these companies are doing what they're doing. All right. You see Target, an ESG score, right? This all in here. Like I said, look it up. Just look it up. Look it up. You would understand why these companies are pushing these agendas, and they don't mind taking an L. Now, this another company right here. The ESG empire strikes back following Bud Light embarrassment. So you look up Bud Light, and they lost a lot of money, but they also gained a lot of ESG scores. Meaning when the currency changes, when the Great Reset is established, right? What's going to happen is these companies that push the agenda of the Rothschilds or of Satan, they're going to get first dibs. They're going to get the top investors. They're going to be the ones established as the top organizations and companies and corporations moving forward. That's why they're doing what they're doing now. All right. But now you would say, OK, well, those are just the corporation. Well, the thing is, everything that starts with the corporation ends with the individual. All right. It ends with the individual, because the individual goes as the corporation goes. And the corporations understand that. All right. So now let's go to this is the Hill. This is thehill.com, and it says coming soon, America's own social credit system. All right. So it says I'm going to read a little bit of this paragraph, because that's what it's about, social credit system. And that's going to come via the CBDC. All right. That's what you have to understand. That's why the CBDC is going to change everything, because the CBDC is not the mark of the beast. The CBDC is going to be a part of the image of the beast. All right. But the CBDC, social credit scores, is going to be established. You're going to have a hard time, even if you have money, whatever the currency is, whatever. Even if you have enough money, people, organizations, and corporations are going to ask for just you see how people ask for a credit check and background checks. Your credit score is low. You cannot afford this. Your credit score is low. You cannot afford that. You cannot afford this. Well, guess what? Social credit score is going to be the new thing. You're not going to be able to afford cars, from certain companies, because your social credit score, because if your social credit score is low, it means that what? You're not partaking in the agenda of the New World Order. So you're going to have to bow to, because that's really Baal, it's Satan, it's Beelzebub, it's all of that, right? It's Shaitan, it's all of that. So you're going to have to bow at the altar of social credit score to be able to survive and move around in the society that's being built. All right. So it says, let me read. It says, The new domestic war on terror, kicked off by the riot on January 6th, has prompted several web giants to unveil predecessors to what effectively could become a soft social credit system by the end of this decade, relying on an indirect hand from DC. Our social betters in corporate America will attempt to force the most profound changes our society has seen during the internet era. China's social credit system is a combination of government and business surveillance that gives citizens a score that can restrict the ability of individuals to take actions. You see that? Such as purchasing plane tickets, acquiring property, or taking loans because of behaviors given the position of several major American companies. A similar system may be coming here sooner than you think. So if you want to so you can have the money and you want to purchase something. You go to a particular company, they look into your social credit score and it says 0. They'll tell you, well, sir, we need proof that you are out there participating. Let's say there's an event this upcoming month, right? On Pride Month with the LGBTQ and the people that live that alternative lifestyle. Let's say there's an event. You show up to that event. You sign up. You sign in. They put your name in, first and last name, and they send it to the social credit score organizations, and you get points. You get credit score for participating in a lifestyle that's contradictory to Yahweh Shema Shah, and therefore you get accepted. Therefore, you get closer and closer to be able to afford some of the things that you want to afford in society. You see how this goes? So if you do not want to engage into lifestyles, abominable lifestyle, or push or be with it, you're going to have your social credit score is going to be 0. That means you're not going to be able to afford much in the world that we're going into. All right. I mean, listen, this is it, and this is the thing, man. The scriptures spoke about this. That's why the prophets of the Lord are here to warn you that we are living in the last days. Things are going to be really, really, really tight out here, man. You're going to have some money and not going to be able to purchase things, man. All right, this is Ecclesiastes chapter 1, verse 9. It says, the thing that has been, it is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done, and there is nothing new under the sun. Right? There's nothing new under the sun. The reason why I brought this up is because, as you know, on the ancient times, during the time of Daniel the prophet, there was social pressure, which ultimately is spiritual pressure. All right, because the way you live socially is according to your spiritual lifestyle. All right, because you can't say you believe the way you live socially is directly linked to the God or the power or the powers that you worship, that you follow. All right. So now let's go to Daniel chapter 1, not Daniel chapter 3, verse 1. All right. Subtitle, The King's Golden Image. It says Nebuchadnezzar the king made an image of gold whose height was 60 cubits and the breadth thereof 6 cubits. He set it up in the plain of Dura in the province of Babylon. All right, this ancient Babylon. It says that Nebuchadnezzar, the king, sent to gather together the princes, the governors, and the captains, the judges, the treasurers, the counselors, the sheriffs. Remind you, these are kind of like these corporations, right? All the corporations and the heads of the politicians, everybody coming together to bow to this image, right? All the big boys in society. All right. This is what you in our time you would call this social engineering, but it's really spiritual idolatry, it's idol worship. It's more than just social engineering. All right. It says, and all the rulers of the provinces to come to the dedication of the image of Nebuchadnezzar, the king had set up. It says, then the princes, the governors, and the captains, the judges, the treasurers, the counselors, the sheriffs, and all the rulers of the province were gathered together unto the dedication of the image that Nebuchadnezzar, the king, had set up, and they stood before the image that Nebuchadnezzar had set up. It says, then an herald cried aloud cried aloud, to you it is commanded, O people, nations and languages. And mind you, modern day Babylon, aka the United States of America, is also known for having a multitude of nations and languages. All right. Verse 3, it says that at what time ye hear the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, psaltery, dulcimer, and all kinds of music, ye fall down and worship the golden image that Nebuchadnezzar the king has set up. And what's all those things that are named are things that are what? Socially influential. All right. From the psaltery, dulcimer, and all kinds of music, flute, harp, anything. And that deals with the commoner, because that's what those are the indulgences of the commoner. So the things that we indulge, because we are the modern day commoners in Babylon. So the things that you indulge today, you're gonna have to be a part of the image, the social credit score, the CBDC. You're gonna have to participate in abominable lifestyles, or push abominable lifestyle, be a part of it, to receive, or to be considered to be a part of the group, basically. It says, ye fall down and worship the golden image that Nebuchadnezzar the king has set up. And whoso falleth not down and worshipeth shall the same hour be cast into the midst of a burning fiery furnace. Now, in 2023, most likely you're not going to have burning fiery furnaces. That was in the ancient times. They were kind of raw with it. Now it's more so in a different manner. It's like, well, you're going to be ostracized. You're not going to be able to survive. You might not even be able to have a roof over your head, depending on where you go. So that's going to be a furnace of adversity, man. That's going to be a furnace of adversity, because you're not going to be able to afford the things that you used to be able to afford. And then eventually, the worse it gets, what so-called, I ain't gonna say it, I'm just gonna use it, with false flag operations that's going to take place from, the U.S. government and all these different governments, orchestrated by, of course, the top families. Things are gonna go really left, and that's when the guillotine is gonna be pulled out, firing squad. So that's, listen, we living in some crazy time, man. We living in some crazy time, and guess who said that? And the thing is, as you warn Israel, right? The majority of Israel, they don't give a damn, bro. They don't give a damn, man. This is the mindset of the people. Ecclesiastes chapter 9, verse 12, it says, for man also knoweth not his time, as the fishes that are taken in an evil net, and as the birds that are caught in a snare, so are the sons of men snared in an evil time, when it falleth suddenly upon them. Yeah, it was like a fish. A fish don't know when he about to get snatched off the water. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of that's the reason why we're not worried about the 2/3 out of the nation of Israel, because they're like fishes in the water, man. They just, they just finished, man. They don't know what's gonna hit them. So this is really only for the hopeful elect. That's all it's about. This is Revelation chapter 13 and verse 15, and it says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. All right. So just because you don't get smoked, right, just killed, man, there's different ways of dying. Let's say you die of famine because you got the money, but you don't have the social credit score to buy food. Then eventually it's going to be, is the ultimate form of that is going to be in a mark, which is, the 16th verse, which we already know that's going to be, that's when, the RFID microchip is implemented fully. So that's when things is really going to go super left, and a lot of people going to have to face the music. So this is Romans chapter 11, verse 3. It says, Lord, they have killed thy prophets and digged down thine altars, and I am left alone, and they seek my life. Yeah, because 2/3 going to be laughing at this. They don't care, man. They don't give a damn, but they laugh at us when we out there, pushing the word. They see the infighting in camps that's going on within the camps. They don't fully understand. They don't even understand why there's an infighting. They just laugh like, yeah, look at these Israelites. Look. But I'm like, mate, man, you're not even in a like. This is verse 4. It says, "But what saith the answer of the Most High unto him? I have reserved to myself 7,000 men who have not bowed the knee to the image of Baal." So yeah, the elected not gonna bow the knee to the image of Baal, man. We're not gonna do all that nonsense just to get social credit scores. We're gonna trust in Yahweh by Shem Yahshua, but most will bow to Baal at the altar of social credit score for sure. So let's end up with this. Psalms chapter 36 verse 7, it says, "How excellent is that loving kindness, O Yahweh by Shem Yahshua. Therefore the children of men put their trust under the shadow of their wings." All right, so and the children of men right there is talking about the elect of Yasha. We're gonna put our trust under the shadow of his wings. And the Lord gonna take care of us, man. I mean, all the reporting bad news and all that, that's what we do as prophets. We gotta, because things gotta get bad before it get good, man. A lot of people gonna have to die, a lot of people gonna have to be judged. That's the part where we just gotta be bearing bad news. It is what it is. But at the end of the day, the good news is, man, the elect are gonna be taken care of. So that's all I had for this lesson. Hopefully it wasn't too long, but the point was made. Social credit score in the U.S. is part of the image of the beast, man, and it's coming down the pipe. Call Halayim La Yahweh Bashim Yashad Double Honest to our apostles, the elders, the great millstone. Shalom, salutation. You said Akim, and a few sisters that do listen. Because I'm a guy from the DC camp. Shalom.